A cell is the basic structural, functional and biological unit of life and one of the earliest episodes in the evolution of life may have been the formation of a membrane that defined the boundary of a cell. The boundary enclosed a solution which is different from the surrounding solution, while still permitting the uptake of nutrients and elimination of waste products. In an animal cell, the plasma membrane is the outermost component of a cell, while in a plant cell and bacteria, a cell wall encloses the plasma membrane as the outermost component. The plasma membrane is a biological membrane that works as a boundary between the cell and its environment. Interestingly, membranes are one of the most common features of the biological world. Without membranes, perhaps life would not have existed. The plasma membrane encloses the cytoplasm of the cell. Inside the cytoplasm, membranes of endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, chloroplasts and other membrane bound organelles in eukaryotes maintain the characteristic differences between the contents of each organelle and the cytosol. In addition to this, fungi, bacteria and plants also have a cell wall which provides a mechanical support to the cell and regulate the passage of larger molecules. Distribution of the plasma membrane in living world. With the exception of some viruses, all living organisms depend in one way or the other on membranes. Membranes have also formed special spaces or compartments within the cytoplasm that separate various cellular processes. The plasma membrane is present in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms, including that of humans and plant cells. In bacterial cells, the plasma membrane is simpler in terms of chemical composition as compared to higher organisms, that is the eukaryotes. The cell membrane also plays a role in anchoring the cytoskeletal to provide shape to the cell and in attaching to the extracellular matrix and other cells to help group cells together to form tissues. It regulates what enters and exits the cell. Biochemical composition of the membranes. Most plasma membrane consist of approximately 50% lipid and 50% protein by weight, with the carbohydrate portions of glycolipids and glycoproteins constituting 5 to 10% of the membrane mass. Carbohydrates attach to extracellular fluid side in the plasma membrane. These percentages can vary significantly depending on the specific type and function of cell in the body. Structure of biological membranes. The fundamental structure of plasma membrane is the lipid bilayer, which forms a stable barrier between two aqueous compartments. The plasma membrane is composed of phospholipid bilayer, which are two layers of phospholipids back to back. Phospholipids are complex lipids with the phosphate group attached to them. The phospholipids have one head and two tails. The backbone structure of a phospholipid is a molecule of glycerol with 3 hydroxyl groups. One of the hydroxyl group is esterified with phosphoric acid, which forms the head portion, and the other 2 hydroxyl groups are esterified with fatty acids, forming the tail portion. The head is polar and hydrophilic or water-loving. The tails are non-polar and hydrophobic or water-hating. In case of the plasma membrane, these compartments are the inside and outside of the cell. Proteins embedded within the phospholipid bilayer carry out the specific functions of the plasma membrane, including selective transport of molecules and cell-cell recognition. Since water is a key component of living organisms, both inside and outside of the cell, this causes the phospholipids to line up in two layers with the heads pointing outward and the tails hidden in the middle. It basically looks like a phospholipid sandwich, with the heads forming the breads and the tails forming the meat in the middle. Discovery of lipid bilayer structure. By the early 20th century, the chemical but not the structural nature of the plasma membrane was known. Two experiments in 1925 laid the groundwork to fill in this gap. By measuring the capacitance of erythrocytes solutions, H. Fricke determined that the cell membrane was 3.3 nanometer thick. Although the results of this experiment were accurate, Fricke misinterpreted the data to mean that the cell membrane is a single molecular layer, not the bilayer. Gorter and Grendel model of the plasma membrane structure. In 1925, two Dutch scientists E. Gorter and R. Grendel extracted the membrane lipids from a known number of red blood cells corresponding to a known surface area of the plasma membrane. They performed a solvent extraction of erythrocyte lipids and spread the resulting material as a monolayer on a Langmuir-Blodgett trough. Then they determined the surface area occupied by a monolayer of the extracted lipid spread out at an air-water interface. When they compared the area of the monolayer to the surface area of the cells, they found a ratio of 2:1. The outcome of their experiment finally proved that the cell membrane is a lipid bilayer. Sandwich model of the plasma membrane structure. Hugh Davison and James Dinelli in 1935 proposed that membrane was a sandwich of proteins and phospholipid bilayer with proteins on outside of the phospholipids. According to sandwich model of the plasma membrane, the protein coat had no particular structure and was simply formed by absorption from solution. Their theory was also incorrect in that it ascribed the barrier properties of the membrane to electrostatic repulsion from the protein layer rather than the energetic cost of crossing the hydrophobic core. Unit membrane model of the plasma membrane structure. The unit membrane of a cell is continuous structure having one surface bordered by the cytoplasm and the other by the outside world. It appears in thin sections with the electron microscope as a triple layered structure about 7.5 to 10 nanometer thick, consisting of two parallel dense strata, each about 2.5 nanometer thick, separated by a light interzone of about the same thickness. On the basis of these findings, Robertson postulated the unit membrane model. In this model, electron microscopic image was interpreted along the lines of the Dinelli-Davison model, with the clear central layer corresponding to the hydrocarbon chains to the lipids and the dense surrounding layers to the proteins on both sides. It was later revealed that the unit membrane model of the plasma membrane was an oversimplification. Fluid mosaic model of the plasma membrane structure. In 1972, Jonathan Singer and Garth Nicholson proposed fluid mosaic model which replaced the sandwich model of the plasma membrane proposed by Hugh Davison and James Donnelly in 1935. Fluid mosaic model of the membrane structure is now generally accepted as the basic paradigm for the organization of all biological membranes. According to fluid mosaic model, the plasma membrane is made up of phospholipid bilayer with embedded proteins as the mosaic. Phospholipid molecules in the plasma membrane are free to rotate on their axis, providing the basis to the dynamic nature to the membrane. The proteins and phospholipids in the membrane are constantly moving and changing. The fluid mosaic model describes the biological membranes can be considered as two-dimensional liquid in which lipids and protein molecules diffuse more or less easily. Although the lipid bilayers that form the basis of the membrane indeed form two-dimensional liquids by themselves. The plasma membrane also contains a large quantity of proteins which provide more structure. Phospholipid bilayer. The plasma membrane of mammalian red blood cells, erythrocytes, have been particularly useful as a model for studies of membrane structure and composition. The bilayer structure of erythrocytes plasma membrane is clearly evident in high magnification electron micrographs. The plasma membrane appears as two dense lines separated by an intervening space morphology, frequently referred to as a railroad track appearance. This image results from the binding of the electron dense heavy metals used as stains in transmission electron microscopy to the polar head groups of the phospholipids, which therefore appear as dark lines. These dense lines are separated by the lightly stained interior portion of the membrane, which contains the hydrophobic fatty acid chains. The plasma membrane of animal cells contain four major phospholipids, that is phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, phosphatidylserine and sphingomyelin, which together account for more than half of the lipid in the most membranes. These phospholipids are asymmetrically distributed between the two halves of the membrane bilayers. The outer leaflet of the plasma membrane consists mainly of phosphatidylcholine and sphingomyelin, whereas phosphatidylethanolamine and phosphatidylserine are the predominant phospholipids of the inner leaflet. A fifth phospholipid, phosphatidylinositol, is also localized to the inner half of the plasma membrane. Although phosphatidylinositol is a quantitatively minor membrane component, it plays an important role in cell signaling process. The head groups of both phosphatidylserine and phosphatidylinositol are negatively charged, so their predominance in the inner leaflet result in a net negative charge on the cytosolic phase of the plasma membrane. In addition to the phospholipids, the plasma membrane of animal cells contain glycolipids and cholesterol. Cholesterol, on the other hand, is a major membrane constituent of animal cells, being present in about the same molar amounts as the phospholipids. The glycolipids are found exclusively in the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane, with their carbohydrate portions exposed on the cell surface. They are relatively minor membrane components, constituting only about 2% of the lipid of the most plasma membrane. Two general features of the phospholipids bilayer are critical to the membrane function. First, the structure of phospholipids is responsible for the basic function of the membrane as barriers between two aqueous compartments. Because of the interior of the phospholipid bilayer it occupied by the hydrophobic fatty acid chains. The membrane is impermeable to water soluble molecules, including ions and most biological molecules. Second, bilayers of the naturally occurring phospholipids are viscous fluids, not solids. The fatty acids of most natural phospholipids have one or more double bonds, which introduce kinks into the hydrocarbon chains and make them difficult to pack together. The long hydrocarbon chains of the fatty acids therefore move freely in the interior of the membrane. So, the membrane itself is soft and flexible. In addition, both phospholipids and proteins are free to diffuse laterally within the membrane. This property is critical for many membrane functions. On the other hand, because of its rigid ring structure, cholesterol plays a distinct role in membrane structure. Depending on the temperature, cholesterol has distinct effects on membrane fluidity. At high temperatures, cholesterol interferes with the movement of the phospholipid fatty acid chains, making the outer part of the membrane less fluid and reducing its permeability to small molecules. However, at low temperature, cholesterol has the opposite effect. By interfering with interactions between fatty acid chains, cholesterol prevents membranes from freezing and maintains membrane fluidity. Although cholesterol is not present in bacteria, it is an essential component of animal cell plasma membranes. Plant cells also lack cholesterol, but they contain related compound known as sterols that fulfill a similar function. In contrast to membrane lipids, proteins in the plasma membrane are responsible for carrying out specific membrane functions. Since proteins are much larger than lipids, this percentage corresponds to about 1 protein molecule per every 50 to 100 molecules of lipid. According to fluid mosaic model, membranes are viewed as two-dimensional fluids in which proteins are inserted into lipid bilayers. Singer and Nicholson distinguished two classes of membrane associated proteins, which they called peripheral and integral membrane proteins. Integral membrane proteins are inserted into the lipid bilayer, whereas peripheral proteins are bound to the membrane indirectly by protein-protein interactions. Peripheral membrane proteins are not inserted into the hydrophobic interior of the lipid bilayer. Most integral membrane proteins are transmembrane proteins with portions exposed on both sides of the lipid bilayer. The extracellular portions of these proteins are usually glycosylated, as are the peripheral membrane proteins bound to the external face of the membrane. Many integral proteins are transmembrane proteins which span the lipid bilayer with portions exposed on both sides of the membrane. These proteins can be visualized in electron micrographs of plasma membrane prepared by the Frieze fracture technique. The membrane spanning portions of transmembrane proteins are usually alpha helices of 20 to 25 hydrophobic amino acids that are inserted into the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum during synthesis of the polypeptide chain. These proteins are then transported in membrane vesicles from the endoplasmic reticulum to the Golgi apparatus and from there to the plasma membrane. Carbohydrate groups are added to the polypeptide chains in both endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. So, most transmembrane proteins of the plasma membrane are glycoproteins with their oligosaccharides exposed on the surface of the cell. Studies of red blood cells have provided good examples of both peripheral and integral proteins associated with the plasma membrane. The membranes of human erythrocytes contain about a dozen major proteins which were originally identified by gel electrophoresis of membrane preparations. Most of these are peripheral membrane proteins that have been identified as components of the cortical cytoskeleton, which underlies the plasma membrane and determines cell shape. For example, the most abundant peripheral membrane proteins of red blood cells is spectrin, which is the major cytoskeletal protein of erythrocytes. The two major integral membrane proteins of red blood cells, glycophorin and BAND3, provide well studied example of transmembrane protein structure. Glycophorin is a small glycoprotein of 131 amino acids with a molecular weight of about 30,000 Dalton, half of which is protein and half carbohydrate. Glycophorin crosses the membrane with a single membrane spanning alpha helix of 23 amino acids, with its glycosylated amino terminal portion exposed on the cell surface. However, most transmembrane proteins span the membrane by alpha helical regions with few notable deviations. A well characterized exception is porins, a class of proteins that form channels in the outer membrane of some bacteria. Many bacteria, including E. coli, have a dual membrane system in which the plasma membrane is surrounded by the thick cell wall and a distinct outer membrane. In contrast to the plasma membrane, the outer membrane of E. coli is highly permeable to ions and small polar molecules. This permeability results from the porins, which form open aqueous channels through the lipid bilayer. The glycocalyx. The extracellular portions of plasma membrane proteins are generally glycosylated. The carbohydrate portions of glycolipids are exposed on the outer face of the plasma membrane. Consequently, the surface of the cell is covered by a carbohydrate coat known as the glycocalyx, formed by the oligosaccharides of glycolipids and transmembrane glycoproteins. Part of the role of the glycocalyx is to protect the cell surface. In addition, the oligosaccharides of the glycocalyx serve as markers for a variety of cell-cell interactions and activation. A well-studied example of these interactions is the adhesion of white blood cells to the endothelial cells in blood vessels, a process that allows the leukocytes to leave the circulatory system and mediate the inflammatory response in injured tissues. The initial step in adhesion between leukocytes and endothelial cells is mediated by a family of transmembrane proteins called selectins, which recognize specific carbohydrates on the cell surface. two members of selectin family, that is E-selectin and P-selectin, expressed by endothelial cells and platelets, bind to specific oligosaccharides expressed on the surface of leukocytes. Membrane biogenesis is a process that takes place inside a cell in which some proteins and lipids are active in building the cell membrane. The size of the plasma membrane is increased and decreased with the interaction of vesicles. The secretory vesicles bringing material increase the surface area of a plasma membrane. However, through the process of endocytosis, the surface area of the plasma membrane decreases. In the process of the plasma membrane synthesis, new lipids are added on one side of the membrane. Rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes the vesicles which are ready to fuse in the plasma membrane. The enzyme flippase is used to put the lipid in the other half of the bilayer. Interestingly, the flippase enzyme may be selective for the type of lipids that it puts on either surface of the plasma membrane. The assembled proteins in the outer membrane control all aspects of biogenesis as they are needed for protein import and other aspects of cell survival. All membranes have a common general structure. A lipid bilayer of about 5 nanometer thick that serves as a relatively impermeable barrier to most water soluble molecules, and within the bilayer proteins that have specific functions in the membrane. Membrane proteins can pass completely through the membrane, that is transmembrane proteins, as single or multiple alpha helices, or be attached covalently either directly or indirectly by attachment to a fatty acid or attached by non-covalent interactions with other proteins. The lipid molecules are amphipathic molecules with hydrophilic and hydrophobic ends. The most abundant are the phospholipids. There are 4 major phospholipids in mammalian plasma membrane: phosphatidylethylamine, phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylcholine and sphingomyelin. The bilayer also consists of cholesterol and glycolipids in membrane. Red blood cells membranes have been studied extensively in elucidating the structure of the plasma membrane. The cell surface is not necessarily naked. In fact, many cells have a sugar coating on the outer surface of the plasma membrane called the glycocalyx. The enzyme flippase is used to put the lipids in the bilayer.